Are the Apple AirPods Max worth buying in 2025? Apple came out with the Apple AirPods Max in 2020, which is literally Middle Ages in headphones time. And they haven't changed it since then. Last year, they came out with new colors and added the USB-C charging. But other than that, they left it untouched, which obviously left a lot of people wondering why they're not changing the AirPods. So I got myself one of the USB-C versions to see if it still stands up as the king of noise cancelling headphones in today's market. So what's good about the Apple AirPods Max? These are one of the most comfortable headphones I ever tried. They're a bit heavier than your usual plastic headphones because they have these lovely brushed aluminium sort of ear cups. One of my favorite features on the AirPods Max are the replaceable ear cushions. They have these lovely magnetic cushions that can be easily replaced. They're not cheap. Obviously, Apple won't sell their accessories for cheap. But cushions are one of the first things to go on headphones. So the fact that you can easily change them on an expensive premium headphone is a pretty good feature. Again, Apple sells these for not cheap, but they're definitely cheaper than buying a new AirPods Max. Another thing I love about the AirPods Max is the buttons. So you got a digital dial and you got a push button. And then the digital dial functions as a volume control, and you can also stop and start music. And then the push button cycles between different modes. So there's hear through, there's ANC, and there's like the standard mode when you haven't got anything on. And it's very intuitive, again, as you would expect from an Apple product. One thing that obviously worth mentioning that the AirPods Max come with this smart case, which looks a bit interesting. And obviously it received a lot of criticism because when the AirPods Max are in the case, they don't actually cover the headband, which means obviously it's prone to, being damaged in the bag, so which is not great. On the upside, the case doesn't restrict the headband, which means that you don't have to readjust it every time that you put it on, which is something that I like because I have quite a big head. So when I take the headphones out, I always have to kind of move them around a bit because the default is just too small for my head. The sound quality is obviously amazing. The AirPods Max use the H1 chip, which Apple moved on since it was launched. So the AirPods Pro 2 and then the AirPods 4 use the H2 chip. And so does the new Powerbeats Pro 2, but the AirPods Max has the H1 chip. So last September when they announced the new colorways, this is why a lot of people expected to hear more about the new AirPods Max because they're like, surely Apple is going to move them onto the H2 chip, but they didn't. They sound amazing. I think from all the headphones that I tried, and this is going to be a big thing to say from me, but I think they sound the best. And I don't say this lightly. The AirPods Max have this very balanced, smooth sort of soundscape. The treble is lovely and crisp. The mids are nice and smooth, and then the bass is quite decent as well. The only thing is obviously because it's an Apple product, you can't change the equalizer as you can do with like a lot of other headphones. But I think Apple nailed the sound profile with the AirPods Max, so I mean I wouldn't change it anyway. But I guess it's something that a lot of people might not like essentially. Another thing to mention about sound is that the AirPods Max has personalized spatial audio, which means that even if you wear headphones, the sound in the ear cups will sound the same. So it will adjust the sound based on how it is inside the ear cups, which is pretty amazing because that means obviously people like me, glass wearers who use it for the computer and stuff, you'll still hear the same music as other people who don't wear glasses. And on that note, I found this one of the most comfortable headphones to wear with glasses because the earpads are quite soft and they never really press against my temple. Battery life is 20 hours, which is pretty good with the ANC on. I think it's more than enough for most people. And if you pop the headphones back in the smart case, that puts them in an ultra low battery mode, which means that it preserves battery life even more. It also has a quick charge function. So 5 minutes on the charge will give you an extra hour and a half of listening time. Again, pretty decent. So the big question, are the Apple AirPods Max worth buying in 2025? I would say it is, yes. Obviously, you've got the money. You get some better deals these days, so that is great, which kind of brings the price down into more, I would say, from the ultra premium category to the premium category. It's still not cheap, but it's cheaper than it used to be. Obviously, there's always a question whether Apple will launch a new AirPods Max in September during their big event. Obviously, it's impossible to tell because Apple never really projects any sort of information about their future upcoming products. But I would say that these are worth the money because they are amazing. Obviously, you can only use them with an iPhone. So, if you're an Android user, too bad. But if you're an iPhone user, if you want headphones that work with your iPhone perfectly and all the other Apple products, sound great, have long battery life, with great ANC, these are a styling choice.